Monday. The weekend's always relatively quiet, and this morning I did a video ranking those attacking targets: Garnacho, Rodgers, Simmons, Eze, to name four. The link to that video is also down below, or a card somewhere up here on the screen. But there's been updates regarding Xavi Simmons, and this is very interesting indeed. This is from Fabrizio. Xavi Simmons' deal expected to develop soon, as player decision since May is clear. He wants to leave. 2 years left on his deal at Leipzig, and price tag can be under 70 million euros now. Chelsea and Arsenal aware, interested as revealed last week, with FC Bayern remaining interested too. And then there's also this. This is Eduardo Hagen's tweet, just in from Plettergol, Florian Plettenberg, on Sky Sports News regarding Xavi Simmons. So Fabrizio has said under 70 million. This has been confirmed by Florian Plettenberg. We are convinced that he can leave RB Leipzig in the range of 50, 60, 65 million euros. Hold the flipping fort, okay? This is a market opportunity. This, to me, looks like an absolute bargain for a 22-year-old versatile attacking midfielder that is, according to a lot of people in football, one of the highest young footballing IQ players. Very intelligent, can play as a 10, centre forward, as a left winger as well. This is a market opportunity for Chelsea. And when we're talking about how difficult the Morgan Rodgers deal would be to Chelsea this summer, with Aston Villa still having that crazy price tag on him. And look, if they value him at that price, they value him at that price. Forget what we spoke about over the weekend. UEFA, all right, you can't keep dictating to football clubs what they sell players for, particularly Chelsea and Aston Villa. But let's take a little look here at Xavi Simmons, because if we're talking 50 million euros, that's like what, 44 million quid, 45 million pounds? This would be an absolute bargain. And in terms of what Chelsea are looking for right now, we're talking about Alejandro Garnacho. You can't tell me that we're going to get Garnacho for what, 15, 20 million, half the price of what this could be for Xavi Simmons, even at 60 million euros. There's certain prices for players that you'd look at and just think, well, that's astronomical. We're not going to go near that. Is the player worth it? Is he going to play enough? I think that's where people's biggest sticking point is with Xavi Simmons to Chelsea. Is he actually going to play? Now, I think what is so good about Simmons is if you look at the right wing, you've got Neto and Esteval. Neto, brilliant at holding the width. Esteval could do something similar to what Cole Palmer did in the Club World Cup, coming in off that right, cutting in on that left foot. I think we'll see that quite often from Esteval Willian. He wants to drift inside. He wants to be in the 10. So you've got two different variations there of wing play. Then on the left-hand side, Gittins has been brought in as that touchline winger, and Xavi Simmons can also be that left-sided player, cutting in on that right foot. He loves to shoot. We spoke about that in the video this morning. Great shot accuracy. And this is a player that can also play in that number 10 position, because this year, heaven forbid something happens to Cole Palmer. It's not going to, right? It's more about resting him. Resting Cole Palmer so that he doesn't have to play every single game in that number 10. But importantly, when it comes to squad depth this season for Chelsea, the reason I think Simmons fits more than what we had available last year with Nkunku, with Felix, is because I think that is more of the kind of rotational movement player that Enzo Maresca wants. Someone that can drift in and out of different spaces, in the half spaces, out wide with the width, and also, importantly for Chelsea, moving into the box. Xavi Simmons can do absolutely all of that. And this price, to talk about this on a Monday, right, with Fabrizio saying that we're expecting him to leave, the deal is very clear. He's going to leave Leipzig, 2 years left on his contract, expected to develop soon. I can see, if this is truly the price, Chelsea have got to be going and advancing towards this now. I'm not saying that we definitely are, because at the moment, Chelsea and Arsenal interested. If something were to happen here for Eze, for example, it would probably be because Arsenal go for Simmons. So at this point, Bayern Munich, they are obviously interested in the player too, and that is due to the horrific injury that was suffered by Jamal Musiala during the Club World Cup. And Jamal Musiala has recently said this too. It wasn't planned that we would leave England to go back to Germany. I had just finished my school exams and I was enjoying being at Chelsea. But then Bayern came in and it just felt right to try something new. I knew how big Bayern were. Now, obviously on a Monday, this could upset some people. It's not the weekend anymore. And we hear about Jamal Musiala finishing school exams, being happy at Chelsea. Now he's at Bayern Munich. Now, obviously for Musiala, that was a horrific injury. And as much as he might think he's back sooner, from what I saw, it's one of the worst injuries I've ever seen. How this guy will be back before the end of next season would be a footballing miracle. But fingers crossed that he is. He's a magnificent player. But Bayern Munich have now got a hole in the squad. So there's definitely a world here where I think Chelsea need to be aggressive for Xavi Simons. And on the flip side of that, we know that Bayern Munich have been interested in Christopher Nkunku. And if Chelsea were to get 35 million euros for Christopher Nkunku and then go and sign Xavi Simons for 55 million euros, then this is an upgrade in the squad. And I think that is what we're looking at this season. Yes, we don't want to have too small of a squad because that would also be an issue. We want to have options. We want Maresca to be able to rotate after a Club World Cup going into a busy season. And with Chelsea have an ambition, at least I hope so, to compete on all fronts next season. I don't want to be in the Champions League to just see if we can make the last 16. Let's go all the way. That's got to be what we look at and think, yeah, we believe we can because the squad is strong enough. And I think Xavi Simons would be a perfect signing to get the squad to that kind of level. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. I think we're going to be speaking about Xavi Simons again a lot more between now and the end of the day, maybe, let alone the rest of the week. So, you guys know it, right? Transfer season in Spain, they might be some of the funniest buggers in the market, because they're always flipping, yapping on about signing Chelsea players. It was Real Madrid wanting Cole Palmer. It was PSG wanted Cole Palmer a couple of days ago, or that was coming out of France. But the latest here, this is at Madrid Universal, coming from Fischer J-Net. Real Madrid are preparing a 150 million euro offer to sign Enzo Fernandez. First of all, I don't want this to happen. Second of all, could it happen? I've said this in a video recently, and a lot of you guys lost it when I said it. But I do expect Real Madrid to come in at some point in the near future for Enzo Fernandez. I think Enzo right now would be foolish to leave Chelsea. What he's building with Moises Caicedo is absolutely brilliant. I think that midfield duo could eventually win Chelsea a Premier League. And Enzo has...
Man, I'm so excited about this transfer window. There's so much going on that I keep telling everyone. Go back and watch the previous video, because everything changes in an instant. But today, I have to talk about the name that's driving me crazy. Xavi Simons. Man, what an incredible opportunity. A 22-year-old kid who plays midfielder, winger, playmaker, intelligent, technical, fast, a good shot. This guy has it all. And look at the price, 50 to 60 million euros. That, to me, is almost a bargain in today's market. With that talent, he should be worth much more. Chelsea has to be aggressive in this one. We can't afford to let Bayern or Arsenal get past us. I can already see him cutting in from the left, scoring goals, resting Palmer when needed. Because, Palmer can't play every game either. And I'm going to tell you something real here. If Chelsea can sell Nkunku for 35 million and bring in Xavi for a little over 50, that's an upgrade. He's the kind of player who fits Enzo Maresca's style, movement, intelligence, vision. That's what we need. I'm tired of seeing Chelsea just participating. I want to see us fighting at the top in every competition. If the club truly has ambition, then let's invest where there's real talent. Xavi Simons, for me, is a major signing. Anyway, let me dream, okay? Because if this guy was a blue jersey, I swear, I'll have mine made with his name on it.